Hello, welcome to the Silverthorne Pulse. I'm Kim Jardim with the town of Silverthorne. I'm here today with Town Manager Ryan Highland. We're going to provide a recap for you of the October 23rd, 2024 work session and town council meeting.
And it looks like our high school students have given us a little spooky Halloween theme, so
Absolutely.
we appreciate that.
Yes, for sure. So jumping into work session first, there were some representatives from the Summit County government that were present to give a presentation regarding Summit tobacco prevention.
Yeah, our public health director at the county, Amy Wineland, was there with representatives from her team and just really giving the council an overview of the work that they do. I think it was in 2019. There's a nicotine tax that went into place, and so there's a good amount of funding that goes into cessation and prevention for nicotine in this county. And so they provided an overview of all of the different things that they're doing and the partners that they're working with and having some good success. We are sitting here in the high school, and I think that was really one of the catalysts for this whole conversation in 2019 and ultimately for the tax. Vaping was a big part of that conversation. And so a lot of headway has been made there. There were 3 of the high school students from the high school here who were at the work session and did talk to the council a bit about still more work to do there. There's still vaping that takes place among the high school population, and so they provided some stories about what that looks like and that we need to continue working on it. So great update, and happy to have the county visit with the council.
Excellent. There was also a conversation regarding the feasibility of a potential sidewalk through Willow Creek Highlands.
Yeah, as a kind of a side conversation to some of the conversations that have been taking place about the potential purchase of the Low Ranch and potentially a trail that might go from that ranch up to the trailhead. That brought up some conversation about currently folks that are walking up to that trailhead when the parking is full and they're coming up from Trent Park. The sidewalk only goes so far in Willowbrook, and so conversation about kind of just a real back of the napkin sketch of could you do a sidewalk, what might that look like, and what would the cost potentially be. So Tom Doherty, our Public Works Director, outlined that on the south side of the Willowbrook Road, we do have room in our right-of-way where we could do that. Sidewalk would be anywhere, he thought, from $300,000 to $500,000. We'd need to probably get at least one easement from some property owner in that area to have some drainage adjustment there. But then we also talked about the opportunity to do not a concrete sidewalk, but just really more of a soft surface extension right off of the roadway that would be functional as well, and that might be in the neighborhood of $100,000. So council was interested in furthering that conversation, so we'll come back to a future work session to talk about if we're thinking about a process there, what might that look like, talking to neighbors, talking to the community at large, and as we do with everything, going through a process. We did have a little conversation because sidewalks are an interesting conversation in a community like ours where some people really like sidewalks and some people feel like they moved here to have more of a rural feel where you don't have sidewalks. So as with anything, we'll see different perspectives, I'm sure. But we'll get back to council with some more information on what that could look like.
Great. And also the Smith Ranch apartments are nearing completion.
They're getting there.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, we keep talking about that, and it is getting closer. Building inspections are underway. The fire district is doing their testing of all the fire suppression and fire alarm systems. And so working our way toward kind of the final piece is at some point in the probably next 30 days, I would say, the town goes through and does the final walkthrough, and they get their certificate of occupancy, which is the CO, as we call it, and that will then allow people to occupy the building. So we're working with our partners at Gorman right now on all of the process and the application paperwork that people will need to submit just to make sure that those are as clear as they can be and everybody understands what that process is. So I think in the coming weeks, that process and all of the dates and documents will be out there. We're just, like I said, working to make sure that those are crystal clear and everybody understands what those are, understands what the rents will be and all of that. So getting closer, but we want to make sure we have a really smooth rollout. So
It's great.
that's where we are.
It's exciting. Moving into the regular agenda meeting for the council meeting, we had an item that has been continued to the November meeting, which will be November 13th, related to the Low property.
Yeah, we started the meeting and I provided just an overview for folks in the room on that particular item. As we've talked about before with the town's potential purchase of the Low Ranch, we would be partnering with Summit County. They had an item on their agenda the day before our meeting, and they ended up continuing that to their November 12th meeting. And so we would like them to officially be a partner before we have our second reading of that purchase ordinance. So we did the same. We continued that item to our meeting of November 13th. However, because it was noticed as a public hearing, we did take public comment from anybody that was in the room, and we did have a couple of people who were there that evening providing their support for that purchase. We will, like you said, continue that on November 13th. We'll have a full public hearing again, and I'm sure we'll have lots of folks in attendance. It's a hot topic.
For sure. Also under public hearings, we had a resolution approving a minor subdivision for a property at the north end of the Three Peaks neighborhood.
Yeah, just a large residential property that's going to be subdivided, and so that had gone through our Planning Commission and Council approved as well.
Great. And there were several action items, a lot of budget-related items that evening. We've got a resolution approving the 4th Street Crossing Business Improvement District 2025 operating plan and budget, as well as the 4th North Business Improvement District 2025 operating plan and budget.
Yeah, when you're looking at the downtown in Silverthorne, you have kind of two distinct projects that have gone. Obviously, 4th Street Crossing, which is completed, and there is a business improvement district that the developer set up there. And then same thing, you're seeing construction underway on the 4th North development, same developer, but also a business improvement district there. So they need to submit a budget and an operating plan annually. And they are their own separate, distinct legal entity, but the town council has to approve those budgets and operating plans. So Tim Frederigill is the developer with Millender White, and he was there and just quickly highlighted the budget for both of those developments, and then just gave some quick updates on things that are going on both of those blocks. Folks are seeing activity just north of the town's art spot. That is a hotel that is being built, and so those foundations are in, and I think we'll start seeing that go vertical soon. And he also provided an update on the ODI, which I think we've all been waiting to see turn into something where we can get inside that building again. And so I think sometime during this ski season, which is very vague, right? Ski season kind of covers a lot of months, but that was his estimation of when we would see the ODI building reopening. He didn't reference exactly what that was going to be. So, but a couple updates on our downtown.
More to come on that. We'll be waiting to see. So there was also a resolution approving a replat and site plan modification for Tree Line Row Homes, which is the old site of the Bank of the West.
Yeah, speaking of our downtown, so where the old Bank of the West was, basically just directly south of the Market Hall and 4th Street Crossing, there's a property that has gone through the approval process in the town, and they had their final site plan approval a while ago, but when they got into real construction drawings, the way they were going to construct that approved project was providing some challenges, and so they modified the site plan. Essentially still the same, I think, from the public's perspective. It is your traditional downtown style development where you'll have commercial on the ground floor, residential above, but some tweaks kind of to the overall plan that needed a site plan modification. And so the developer of that project was there, and it was approved. And so we will see something happening there. We did actually get one public comment from the developer of 4th Street Crossing, who happened to be in the room for the item we spoke about previously, and he was excited to see more activity, and obviously that just helps the Market Hall when we get more development there. So takes a while to build, but when folks see things being built on that site, that's what it is again. Commercial ground floor, residential up top.
Speaking of Bluebird Market Hall, they won a Best of Summit Award, or were at least a finalist for a Best of Summit Award regarding best place to feed a group of people,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
With all those different...
Great place to go, lots of different options for
Yes.
everybody, particularly families, great place.
Excellent. Under action items, there was also an ordinance adopting 2025 rates and fees for the town, as well as an ordinance to adopt the 2025 budget, both first readings.
Yeah, lots of work over the summer and fall with town staff and town council on our two-year budget process, so putting together the 2025-26 town budget, and all of those staff meetings, council retreat, work sessions really culminates in the official process, which is first reading of an ordinance. So Finance Director Laura Kennedy highlighted everything that we have briefly in all of the different funds, which we've talked about here before. The general fund, which is where we do the bulk of our work, our snow plowing, our police, our rec center, but then we also have our housing funds and our water and sewer and all the different things. So huge amount of work that culminates in a fairly short presentation at the council for first reading. So if anybody's interested in any of the details with the budget, we're always happy to sit down with folks and go through that, or they can peruse it at their leisure on the website. So first reading, unanimously approved, and then we'll come back on November 13th to get the final adoption of the budget.
Excellent. Well, that is a wrap for October 23rd. Happy Halloween to everyone. We will see you next time.